welcome back to the table where we do tarot. And let's do a little check-in with it. Tell it like it is on the Crow Tarot, okay? So we're gonna shuffle it up and just read it out as the story shows itself. We're starting out with the deck being put into the box without me seeing the bottom card. Sorry, I'm fidgeting around over here. So I never know what's going to be at the bottom of the deck when we pull it out. But it is the Wheel of Fortune. So it seems like the wheel is turning in your favor. Oh, and everything wants to fall off the table as I'm shuffling it. All right. Just give it a few more shuffles. We'll try to get one card to come out to see where to start. Okay. Okay. And I can't really see what I'm doing, but I just, don't have a lot of room on the table here because the cat likes to sit behind the computer or walk all around on the table while I'm doing this. Oh, there's something I wanted to flip. Let's see. Hang on. I'm not going to take that one. All I want is one just to get us a starting point. But if I don't get one come out, then we'll just start where we are. One more shuffle. Whoa! See? It was like I told you, just start. All right. There's a lot there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this one out. I'm going to put it in front of all the other ones that fell out. And Temperance is sitting here over off to the side. It doesn't want to be put in there at all. Okay, so Temperance, and I'm seeing what's at the bottom of the deck right now. Temperance and Strength. So, holy cow, what a great spot to be starting out at. All right, so let's see. Alchemization is happening because you were strong and you've been moving into places that are going to bring you lots of money because there's like a juggling that isn't happening anymore because you see what's most important to you. You always knew it. It's just that you didn't have other people to build with, and now you're finding those people. And that was by listening to your intuition to where God can bring injustice in your life by having the right people around. Okay. You also get complete emotional fulfillment from this in a way that you never had before. This is new. The page is like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually wanting to tell people about my creative things because their messages are coming from God. I finally listened to God on this thing. Um, Killed off the old parts of me. I'm reborn again into my emperor energy, which is sorry, I'm like looking at it on the screen, but sometimes I want to make sure that I'm verifying. So the emperor, it's actually the energy of Aries. So it's a fire sign, but Aries is like the first of the zodiac sign. So an emperor, huh, I have recently been thinking about like what an emperor is because I was watching something that was talking about Nero, Emperor Nero. And I thought about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, the emperors that we kind of like know of that we hear about, they're like sometimes quite childish. So now I could see how that represents the energy of like Aries. It's highly energized and they want things to be their way. Okay. So if they make it up into the seat of the emperor, now when we think in terms of like a spiritual emperor, they're not doing it for like um self-serving purposes necessarily, other than for the fact that they want to be comfortable where they're at, and where they're at is at the top of the heap telling other people what to do because they earned it, right? They earned it alone. The emperor is by itself. It's the hermit. And it's like that journey inwards is what brings you riches. It's what puts you on the throne. It's an active movement towards it because it's a king energy. Okay. You have to have complete control over your emotions. And so when you take action in this world, you can't be on your freaking emotions. That's what kids do, right? They kick and scream and do all this stuff. It's like it comes from going through the process of understanding what emotions are and then moving away from them when they no longer serve a purpose. So when you start to head out in the direction of your calling, it leads you to full emotional abundance for everybody. Okay. And like nostalgia is a big, uh, thinking back about your childhood is where it helps you to move forward into purpose. Like, what did you not get to receive as a child that you, when it comes to emotional abundance, that you have to go through a lot of movement through turbulent weather in order to get there? And that's what it is. It's like when a plane is taking off and it has to go through these periods of difficulty, like of getting the wheels up off the ground and then going through clouds and things like that, and possibly into turbulence to where it goes up higher to where that stuff doesn't affect it anymore. And that's the journey of the chariot. Okay. It's like the Knight of Swords will move the fastest when you don't know what you're really doing, but you know you've got to get moving. Okay. And it's like that'll cause battles because you'll like act faster than you can think. When it comes to Knight of Swords, it causes battles, but you win those battles, okay? And it's not often cleanly because the knight moves so quickly. It's like you have to hold on to what worked in the knight's journey and um, let the rest go. Okay. There's something about like the holding on that I don't really understand, but you have to hold on to what works in order to hold on to or in order for your pentacles to grow, right? So it's like Four of Pentacles. A lot of times people will have great financial abundance and like financial health, but they're in the wrong place at the wrong time or the wrong place at the wrong time or with the wrong people, and then they never get to see it flourish into what it should. So it like puts in this whole thing, this whole like false illusion of how you are the value of what you have based on what you have left. And a lot of times that's not what's true. What you have left is it's like part of the learning process. So once you realize that that's not what you have is not who you are, that's the sort of truth that you need to understand. And that's where union happens within you of the lovers. It's like where you learn to love yourself because you endured all the stuff from the past, right? That's like what allows you to move forward with your creativity. You're not sitting around waiting for anybody to tell you what you're good at anymore. This indecision isn't necessary because you're already birthing what is the world that's meant for you. Once you understand what you're good at and you move forward, then you create a new world in which you are the king of it. Okay. That's just the way that reality works in this metaverse that we've got out here. It's actually a universe because it's just our place. Okay. I got a phone call. So um we had the Empress. We also had like the lovers, and now we're getting the Two of Cups. Okay. And that's because the lovers is like a union within yourself. And then when you birth that new world, then you welcome an equal partnership. Okay. There's no more of this kind of stuff, this chaos of like having to move out of the old world. And it's like you got your wish upon a star because you created the world in which it exists. All right. It's like you used your emotional guidance and God carried you there. All right. That's what the horse is representative of. There was a death to all the old stuff. It all still exists in somebody else's universe. Okay. But it's not yours. You're on this Ace of Wands, this new creativity. And you're overlooking like the city. It's actually supposed to be like Seattle. So if that's important to you, I know it certainly was to me. I love Seattle. Um, and it's like because you started to be able to discern who emotionally fills you. And it's not that other people aren't as important, it's that you just learn the discernment levels of things and that you're not going to like give away or let anybody else take your coin anymore. Okay. And now you, because you have the money, you can afford to do all the things that you wanted to, but never knew what to do. Or it's like you used to look at this as like, oh man, I have all these things I care about and I don't know what to create. And that's what used to be the confusion. Then you started following through on what you care about. And then you were given the money to be able to have all these different options of what you want to buy now that like fills you up. Okay. Because money does buy happiness, but it's like not in terms of, where you need money first in order to get the happiness. Like you have to find happiness and then you get the money and then you can use that money to buy more happiness things, okay? To make life more convenient. Because you're in your new world. You closed out that old cycle. You started the cycle of the Fool. You started a new journey where everything is balanced in your world. Other people, for whatever, they didn't want balance for you, okay? So you had to keep your head down. You had to work on what was important to you, all right? And it's like now you're drawing the people in who want to share their abundance with you because they are coming to you to what for what you're saying because they're going through this type of stuff of like self-sabotage because of the other people around them, and they realize that they were self-sabotaging because they meditated on it and they're like, how can I be the problem? It's like you might not be the one creating the problems, but you are allowing other people to create problems, and that's what you figure out is like, oh, I was keeping myself in a mental prison because I thought like I'm supposed to help people in this world. And so you just end up continuing to allow people's nonsense. And then once you finally realize that, oh yeah, I can move forward without that meaning anything for the other people who I couldn't have alignment with, because judgment day is, it's God who assesses somebody, and it's through judgment day. So it's not your burden to carry anymore. Okay, it's that they get to carry their own stuff because you're not there anymore, because you had to move forward, because you, this is you, it's like you had to figure out, now I am too tired to go on with all these other people's things. I'm taking this one, and that's the only one, because now I have lost all of my energy and I'm wounded. Okay. But it's like, but you were doing this without anybody else paying attention because you let all of their stuff go. Okay. So it looks like you're doing, wait, how did that? Oh, because it was temperance at the bottom instead of that right there. So nobody's known what you're doing because you're not carrying their stuff anymore. Okay. You're not solving their problems anymore. So it looks like, you know, that you've gone into the light of the moon, and they just they can't see you anymore. Okay, but they're going to see you when you're in your new foundation, and it's not with them. Okay, and that's cool. It's because you don't have any negativity towards those people anymore, because you realized the work that you were doing, the life that you were in, that's not really how things are meant to be, and it takes a lot of sacrifice to get to that point. Okay, it's like we're, you were always the one down here. Now you're the one up here. And now they understand that, like, they were holding you back the whole time because they wouldn't go along with you. And if they just had, if they had trusted you, then they would have been up there with you. Okay. But they didn't. But now it's like, that's because you moved into your King of Swords energy, where you action on your thoughts and your words only. Okay. That's all you're doing. It's like before, you might have been like sort of in a Queen of Swords energy, where it was just sort of like you knew the truth, but you weren't going to go out and hurt people's feelings. It's like, well, you've figured out how to gracefully do it and authoritatively do it now. And now you get to share with the people who you love, because you have emotional abundance and you're receiving emotional abundance. And the devil, you learn to work with the devil. You learned to work with the devil of structure, and like you have to do things by the book, and you're locked into the system. It's like, oh yeah, well, in my new world, I created my own system. And so I figured out how to use this as Capricorn energy instead of holding me back energy to a system that I don't belong to anymore, which was one of heartache, where you only move forward because of heartache and heartbreak, right? It's like that's what you did. You didn't have the Three of Cups before. You look down at it for a long time and realize you can't pick that water back up. Okay. So you're going to have to fly and look for a new source of water. You go all the way around the world and you find the water that was right behind you, that now you have earned because you took that long journey, and you become the magician. You have access to everything now because it's your new world. You deem it so. People come to you for intuitive guidance for what they are trying to unlock in themselves of creativity, because you are recognized for your own unlocking of your creative passions. Okay, it can't be denied anymore. It used to be like, where you were looking to others who had done it, and now you're the one, and people are coming to you for it because they know that you're the ultimate teacher, because of all the crazy stuff that you have been through, all the times when very clearly stuff was out of balance, and yet you still, you were like playing some part in it because you were allowing it to happen. But that's because you thought that that was the right thing to do, right? Because of Hierophant type energy, where it's like, no, you always got to do what's right. Well, here it's that now you know exactly what's right because you've achieved this position of authority as the Hierophant, however you want to say it. The Queen of Cups is like, oh my gosh, where you used to fear people coming towards you because they would just pull from your emotions. It's like because nobody can take from your emotions anymore, and they're coming to you for guidance on how to open up their own emotions. Like anybody who's coming to you now, who's drawn to you, is like filling your cup, okay, instead of taking from it. And that is because you give high priestess intuition to where you are never emotionally charged. You are emotionally sound. You are emotionally stable. So you can just go straight to your insight and get the answers. Okay. It's like you don't have to look for your answers. They are always with you. And that happened through tower moments of like trying to go with your intelligence of like, or your like moral high ground stuff. Well, that brought you into the towers that you needed in order to stand on your pinnacle alone. Nobody else gets to take that one from you because it's from God. And He put up all of these protective mechanisms to make sure that they can't climb up to you. He broke that freaking tower down. All right. So your abundance is in the sunlight now, where everybody can see it. And it turned the wheel in your favor. And you just keep inspiring others to move forward in their own creative passions. It's so cool. And they're all like, You're teaching people how to sit on their nest. You keep your vision focused on the one pinnacle and you just incubate the rest until they're ready to come to fruition, okay? Because I know you want all the things at one time, but you really can't. You can only focus on one thing at a time. And that is what ensures that these come to full term, okay? And into birth. And the Queen of Wands is it just keeps attracting more opportunities for this creative abundance, right? Because she's sitting on the heads of these, like people aren't going to come up and mess with her. They cannot take anything from her. They're drawn to her because of her strength of being able to stabilize herself on the head of two lions. That's insane. All right. So everybody else has flown off with their chaotic energy. They're not allowed in there. And now it's like, because you created it's like you used to be so warm and welcoming, the concept of the Queen of Wands. It's like you used to have this like maternal energy where you'd accept everybody's bullshit just because you knew they couldn't do any better. They didn't know any better, right? So so now you have closed all the doors to those people. So they have flown off to go and do their own karmic healing, which is sitting in the hanged man position and getting uncomfortable. And they have to create their own new world too. Okay. It's like you were the inspiration for them to create a new world because you closed yours off and created your own. All right. And the Page of Swords, it's like a hard start. It's a hard start when you're trying to talk about the new changes that you've been through. But once you're doing that whole process, this is like the karmic wheel moving into a dharmic wheel. This is like the benefit of you closing off your world is that your former enemies or whatever adversaries, antagonists, they started off maybe talking smack about you, but it doesn't matter. It's like what led them into their own truth of how they were the problem. Now they can see the expansion of their new world. They can see their star coming off into the distance, and God will give them the emotional fulfillment when they pursue that journey of letting the old stuff die. So awesome. I'll give you one oracle message from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. Okay. Ooh, just a couple cards flew out, and maybe just for reiteration, the Lovers, the King of Wands, and the Two of Swords. So if that means anything to you, take it as it has meaning to you, but it definitely flipped out of the deck again, okay? And that Five of Pentacles got stuck down to the table when I picked the rest of the cards up. Okay. So I'm just shuffling these back up so I can't see what's at the bottom when I put them back into the deck. And I am always so excited to see what the Herbal Astrology shows us. So because I shuffle them up and put them in unknown, we can take the one right at the bottom, and that's what I would prefer to do, unless I know for sure I had left it on that one. Nope. Passion Flower, Surrender, 43, and that is a 7. A 4 plus 3 is a 7, and that's a lucky number. We'll just call it that. So let me find it. It's so, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, there's owls on it. What's underneath it? Rosemary. I bought myself a rosemary plant so I could have an herbal ally on my side as we're going into the fall. So I'm hoping that I can keep it growing in the house. Okay, take a look. Owls. I think this might be Neptune and the moon. So that's probably what it's ruled by, right? She's working under the moon to create the moon energy into this infusion of whatever. The moon energy is infused into what she's working on here. Okay. And passion flower, it's such a cool thing. The flower and then the fruit that grows from it, they smell so good. They're incredible and they grow on other things. So, like, and they grow like really, really well as far as I have seen when I watch other people's like homesteading videos and things like that, but they can grow like over archways and things like that. So they don't really take up space and yet they have such an abundance to offer. So let's see what the actual book says about it. Passion flower, surrender, and let me find out what page it's on. I think it's Neptune. Yep. All right, 123. 123, what's that? 6. Passion flower, surrender, passiflora incarnata. Upright, sacrifice, surrender, choosing growth, trusting discernment, rituals of letting go. Reverse, deception, misguided intentions, deceiving opportunities, unexpected halt, bad judgment. Astrological ruler, Neptune and the moon. Passion flower, a precious botanical native to Central and South America, was named for the Passion of the Christ. Oh, I didn't know that. Passion of Christ. referring to his suffering and death by Roman Catholic priests in the 1500s. It was also called La Flor de las Cinco Llagas, La Flor de las Cinco Llagas, or the flower of five wounds. Oh, okay, okay. Referring to Christ's stigmata. The five petals and five petal-like sepals of this flower represent the 10 apostles who remained faithful to Jesus throughout the Passion. The circle of hair like rays above the petals represents Jesus' crown of thorns. Since its introduction into European herbal medicine, passion flower has been used as an antispasmodic, hypnotic, anodyne, anxiolytic, sedative, and nervous system tonic. The leaf tea became popular in North American medicine in the mid 1800s for similar uses as those in South American traditions. Passion flower tranquilizes edgy nerves and helps with insomnia and mood disorders, headaches, colic, migraines, menstrual cramps, diarrhea, neuralgia, eye disorders, epilepsy and convulsions, and muscle spasms and pain. To this day, passion flower is used by shamans in floral baths to calm and cleanse the spirit. Passion flower is considered a bridge to Christ consciousness, which assists in direct communication with the mythical voice within. It's also used as an incense to alter the energy of spaces that were stressed, traumatized, or disrupted. Passion flower is ruled by the mighty powers of Neptune, the planet of spiritual realization, religious experiences, the spirit world, and Maya, the great illusion. Guidance. Passion flower symbolizes surrender, sacrifice, and the crucifixion of the ego. Passion flower resembles the need to sacrifice in order to make space and move forward. The all seeing double headed owl symbolizes the great understanding perceived from both sides, whether it be upside down or inside out, and bestows Goddess Passion flower with unseen truths as she performs rituals for letting go. Owl is symbolic of discernment and able to light up what needs to be seen. Passion flower today might reflect the need to suspend actions that aren't aligned to your spiritual path. And wait, are there certain decisions or actions you've made that you must sacrifice in order to reassess your direction? Honor your intuition. It's okay if projects or original ideas come to an unexpected halt. Discernment is key to experience greater truths and opportunities. Now, I used to work for greenhouse, and the passion flowers were just so beautiful there. And so one day I was like watering the plants or taking off the dead leaves and dead flowers and things like that. And I took a picture of it because I was trying to get started with painting, like wanting to paint. I don't like painting just from the imagination. It's not well developed in me. And so I like painting from something that I see as being completely beautiful and natural. And the passion flower was one of those things. I also painted a rose. I painted this really cool lemon tree that we had that had these yellow mushrooms growing in it. And one other type of flower or plant, passion flower, rose. I can't remember what the other one was, but I get so frustrated with my paintings and how long they take. A hibiscus, that's what it was, a hibiscus plant, that I can't stand having them around me anymore because they remind me of sort of like the wounding that I was going through and needed to create things in order to heal that wounding. And so I gave them all away as my little thank you gift to my tattoo artist one time. You know how you like tip your tattoo artist? So I'll give him like a uh monetary tip. But also, I was like, here, because he had said he moved into a new place and didn't have like any art for the walls or anything. So I was like, here, take these, get them out of my sight. So now my flowers and my paintings are with him, and it's in a much better place where I can't criticize them. Okay. I love you. Have a great day. Bye.